Hello, I am Hacker of channel formerly known as Car22. I hack channel from 2.7 to 2.13 and now give channel back and also give shirt that has Steven Universe YouTubers making me cry. I cry. I cry a lot. This is my accent for some reason. Shirt features Mikhail Williams and Hailey Crater from Cartoon Universe, Ostruk Vux from the Rune Table, Megcat Woodward Skiwood Wang, Roses Universe, Sleece of Otaku, Swiggy Thunder, Fictional Christios, Ikem Lewison, Kitsune Zatsuku, and me. I cry. Very sorry. Art by Kasuni Zakolo. Can support Kasuni Zakolo by going to Redbubble, getting phone case, wall art, mug, bag, sticker, or card. Shirt available till March 7th. Please buy and enjoy video while I look for job. What is going on, guys? This is Michael Williams from Cartoon Universe, and I have a very quick review of Tiger Philanthropist. This is yet another episode. This was a fun episode, entertaining, kind of touching as well. But there's another episode. There's not too much to cover, really. It's pretty bare bones. Nothing too deep, not a lot of Easter eggs or secrets, obviously not a lot of story heavy stuff, but it was an entertaining episode, and I think we'll be getting right back into the thick of things with next week's episode, Room for Ruby, and then of course Line for alternate ending. So I'm just going to kind of talk about the episode and just give my quick little thoughts on this. Haley could not join us today, unfortunately, and we are actually late with this review because we were both busy yesterday, but yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go down the list of what happened and just give what I think about this episode. So I think this was a pretty cute episode. It was a nice Steven and Amethyst bonding episode. I have mixed feelings about the purpose of the episode, though. I feel like this helped kind of give us more of an understanding of the relationship, but at the same time, it didn't really necessarily add anything. At the same time, it was kind of weird. We kind of got development, but it was more so for stuff that we already knew. It was just kind of heightening the things that we already knew, if that made sense. So obviously this episode is about wrestling. It's about Tiger Millionaire and Puma, and Amethyst is not feeling wrestling anymore. She's pretty much over it. She's done, and Steven's a little bit bummed about this. He's like trying to be on board with Amethyst, but he's like kind of missing it. And Lars is of course heartbroken that his favorite wrestler, Tiger Millionaire, is not going to be in the ring anymore. And Steven goes to the Big Donut, and Lars is just completely depressed. And Sadie is like, "Oh, we'll just ask Steven about Tiger Millionaire, because I know Steven's Tiger Millionaire and I'm not an idiot." And Lars is obviously completely clueless that Steven is Tiger Millionaire still, as we predicted in the video, in our prediction video for the leaks. And Lars basically gives Steven / Tiger Millionaire suggestions on what Tiger Millionaire should have done, not knowing that Steven is Tiger Millionaire for whatever reason. And it's really funny. He says Tiger Millionaire is like 6 foot something, and I'm just like, he's really not. Maybe that's Tiger Millionaire's canon height. He's like 6 foot. But yeah, that was really funny. So Steven basically says, you know what, I can fight by myself. I don't need Amethyst. I'm strong enough. So he basically comes back as Tiger Philanthropist. He rips off his tie, and he's given all this money. I don't know if it's real money or not. I feel like it might be, since Greg is rich. He may have just been able to ask his dad to give him some cash, because it's just one, so it wasn't a huge deal, but he probably just asked his dad to give him some cash so he could do his thing. And Greg is very like lenient with his money. He doesn't really care. He's not a money person. He buys some stuff, but for the most part, he doesn't really care. He's pretty nonchalant about his money, and I'm sure he would give Steven money if he wanted to do some type of project or a thing that he enjoys, and this is kind of relevant to a thing Steven likes, and Greg is definitely down to throw the money at Steven, because he knows Steven's a grateful kid and he's not a greedy kid, and Greg isn't greedy himself, so I'm assuming that's where he gets all of that money from. But yeah, he basically bodies everybody that he fights, just completely destroys them. Like, no question. We knew that Steven was super strong. We knew he had super strength. This was introduced, I think, back in Drop Beat Dad. Sorry, Drop Beat Dad. We kind of see Steven just lifting boxes like it's nothing, like it's cake. So we see him just completely demolishing all these humans. I guess he's not too much strong, because I feel like he would have killed somebody if he was like Superman level strong. But yeah, obviously he's super strong. He's fighting these grown men and beating them to the ground. And Steven's feeling all good about himself, and he comes back to the Big Donut the next day, and Lars is still like kind of bummed, and he feels like Tiger Millionaire's return was lame, and he feels like philanthropy is lame, and giving away his money is lame, and he just won like it was nothing, like it was like all the time, so it was just like kind of boring. There was no narrative structure there, I guess, for Lars. And Steven was like so confused as to what he was supposed to do. So he talks to Amethyst, and he's like super bummed about everything. And Amethyst is just like, we don't need it anymore. And then Steven's like, yeah, I just liked it that it was our thing that we did together. But I guess you're right. I'll just quit like it's no big deal. And that was like, it made me so sad because I was like, man, that was their thing. That was their brother-sister thing that they did. So Steven goes back to the wrestling thing, and he says, you know what? You can take these championship belts. I don't want them anymore. Anyone who can reach the top of the ceiling or whatever he has them like hanging from the ceiling, it's yours. It's all yours. I'm not even gonna put up a fight. And then Amethyst comes back as Purple Puma and says, no, we're gonna go out with a bang. If we're gonna go out, I'm not gonna let you throw away our memories. And they basically throw the fight. They get beat on purpose, and then the two handsome dudes, I don't remember the names, get the championship belts. And then Large is like all emotions, like, no, Tiger Millionaire. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. And it was a nice little episode to kind of showcase Steven and Amethyst's relationship. They seem to be the closest out of the Crystal Gems, because I think they can really relate to each other. They feel like outcasts, they feel like outsiders, and I feel like Steven really helped Amethyst come into her own, after all those years, like thousands of years of just feeling kind of guilty for where she came from and feeling inferior because she was overcooked. She's a runt. I feel like Steven really brought out the best in her, and I feel like Steven grew from her as well, and they really learned from each other, and they don't need wrestling anymore. They're just like, you know what, forget it. We don't need this. We don't need this escape. We don't need this validation, and it's kind of getting boring anyway. So it's just like, whatever, we'll find something else to do. So that was the episode. It was a fun episode. The jokes were really funny. I liked it. Yeah, but we didn't learn anything really. We just got a little bit more development for Steven and Amethyst, but I feel like this is development we already had. I feel like it was already established that they don't need to feel that validated. I feel like it was established that they don't need to feel better or whatever, you know what I mean? I feel like they already kind of felt good about themselves to begin with, and I feel like we already knew Steven was strong. It just kind of showcased it again. I guess it was a reminder. I don't know. We didn't really learn that much new. We just kind of learned that they have been wrestling pretty much every Saturday, I guess, like whatever during wrestling season is. So they've been doing this the entire series just off camera. Oh, another thing. I feel like this episode could potentially fit anywhere in season 4, for the most part, anytime after season 3 when they land back on Earth after they deal with the rubies and the whole moon base thing and getting Steven back from floating in space. I feel like you could fit this episode pretty much anywhere in season 4. There wasn't anything there that stood out that was like that would have contradicted, and this episode has been moving around schedule-wise for a while now. I think it's been going around since season 3 we knew about this episode, so I have a feeling that there's a possibility this episode was meant just to be a placeholder for any place, really. I don't know if it canonically takes place after Rocknaldo or not. It could theoretically be thrown anywhere in season 4 for the most part. So yeah, I feel like that might be why we've heard about this episode so much, and the schedule kept changing for this episode, but who knows? I have absolutely no idea. I think it doesn't really matter where you put this episode, is my point. So that was interesting, or it could have just been a scheduling mistake, who knows? But yeah, it was a fun episode. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments down below, and thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.